This is the third section on our lesson about using credit and how to use it wisely. Can you think of a time when you made an impulse purchase that you regretted later, or have you ever been glad that you waited to make a purchase? I know I've had both of these experiences in my life. I remember one time there was a new album coming out by one of my favorite music artists, and I just had to have that new album the day that it came out. And I went onto iTunes, I spent the $10.99 that I had for my allowance on this new album, and that was at like the very beginning of the month. And my parents only gave me $10 allowance at the beginning of the month, and I spent it right away. And then come 2 weeks later, my friends wanted to go bowling with me, and my parents had said I have to use my own money if I want to do different activities with my friends. And I had to say no because I did not save my money up properly to be able to do some fun things with my friends and to buy that new music album that I just had to have. So from that experience, I learned that saving my money can also be very beneficial. Especially when I go clothes shopping, I try and save my money as best I can. I usually don't buy items on full price because I know that if I wait, they're going to go on sale. So I can get the same shirt or pair of pants for a little bit cheaper if I don't buy them right when they come out. I'm happy to wait a few weeks, even a few months for a cute style. As long as I'll wear it, I'm happy to wait for it. So that brings me to what we're about to talk about today. When is it okay to buy? Or when is the best time to buy? Is it better to buy things now or later? When we speak of purchasing things at different times, either now or later, we use two different terms for that: instant gratification and delayed gratification. So when you gratify yourself, it means that you are getting something for yourself. And so when we talk about instant gratification, we are saying that I must have it now. The definition is it's an unwillingness to give up something now in return for something later. For me, that instant gratification example would be me buying a CD album right when it came out. I was unwilling to wait for it and get it later, and so I had to have that CD right when it came out, and that meant that I was unable to go bowling with my friends at a later time. Then the difference between instant gratification and delayed gratification is that if you delay something, you're waiting. It's a willingness to give up something now in return for something later. So in that example about clothes shopping, I'm willing to wait a little bit. I can save my money to purchase a new top or a new pair of pants a few weeks later after those items have gone on sale. So when we're talking about purchasing things now or later, having a credit card can definitely impact our ability to delay our gratification. And here's what I mean. So if I have a credit card, I might know that I have, $500 available on my credit card. So I can make a purchase on something that I want right away, and then it just means that I have to pay for it later. So having a credit card can really affect when we're purchasing things either now or later. It means that we don't always have to delay our gratification, but we also have to understand that if we purchase something on credit now, we do have to pay back that money later. So there is that return for something later in that instant gratification and using a credit card for it. So if you have a credit card, how do you know whether it's okay to buy something now or later? Well, I introduced the Stop, Drop, and Think test in our first unit on financial planning and money management, but we can use it when we're buying something for credit as well. So you can ask yourself these questions. Do I need an item or do I want it? If I don't need it, then why do I want it? And when will I use or wear this item? Can I find it for less elsewhere? And what will I have to give up or put off by using credit to buy this now? So I think the most important question in this Stop, Drop, and Think test is what will I have to give up or put off by using credit to buy this now? For instance, if I buy something now using credit, will I have enough money left over on my credit card to purchase other items that I need by the end of the month? Also, if I can't repay this item on my credit card right away, I'm going to have to start paying interest on it. So it will take me a longer time to pay it off. Sometimes it might be necessary to do that. If you have to move into an apartment and you are trying to buy furniture for yourself and you have nothing, you start off with nothing, well then using credit is a way that you can purchase the items that you need and pay them off bit by bit, just understanding that you might have to pay a little bit more because of interest rates. So you've gone through this lesson. We've talked about credit and how to use it properly. We've looked at the test to make sure that you are using credit in a wise way. I want you to go back to activity 1.2. That was the borrowing fitness test. All right, the borrowing fitness test looks something like this in your notebook, and it asked you to read the questions and mark an X if you were able to answer yes to those questions. So how would you rate your ability for responsible borrowing? If you answered yes to a lot of these questions, it definitely shows that you were a responsible individual. If you don't have a lot of X's next to these, what are some areas that you could improve in to become a more responsible borrower? What I'd like you to do is on the back of this borrowing fitness test, write 2 to 3 sentences stating how you right now are being responsible in borrowing, and then 2 to 3 sentences explaining how you could improve your responsible borrowing actions. So take a moment to think about that. 2 to 3 sentences on the back of this page about how you are successfully borrowing and being responsible, and 2 to 3 sentences explaining how you could improve your borrowing habits. So we've been talking about Jessie and Mariah in this lesson, and Mariah's mom is not sure she even understands what credit is. So she asks Mariah to compare it to something else, and Mariah has a difficult time coming up with a comparison. So we're going to help her out, and I want you to complete the following analogy. So credit is like a car because of this. If you're not sure what an analogy is, I can explain that to you. It's a comparison of similarities between two things that otherwise might be considered unsimilar. So they're a great way to clarify an abstract idea. When we think about a car, we think about how independent we are. When somebody owns a car, it means that they're very independent. They've been able to get their license, they're able to drive around to different places, and it means owning your own car means that you are able to finance it and pay monthly payments on that car. So how is credit like a car? You know, both are tools that can get you to a goal. A car can get you from place to place. Credit can help you purchase different items. They both need an annual inspection to make sure that they work for you. You must inspect your car every year, and you need to make sure that your credit is okay just about annually. So if you're having trouble getting started with this analogy, try listing out what you know about credit to help yourself brainstorm. When you're ready, I want you to create a poster that explains your analogy. Credit is like a car because of this. So brainstorm a few things, and then you can create a poster explaining how credit is like a car. Well, now that your poster is finished, you can add that into your notebook. And that is the end of our first lesson about borrowing, using, not abusing.